All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. It is Wednesday. We have PPI inflation data. It's delayed PPI inflation data. We also have retail sales data going live at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time today. We also potentially have the reversal of the tariff decision. We've had bank earnings released most of this morning already. Let me make sure. But yeah. Last time it was 10 o'clock. I'm trying to make sure it was 10 o'clock as well. What's up, Ava, Joe, Hack, On, Hugh, Ray, Womble? Yeah, silver, guys, $91 plus for silver futures. So over $90 an ounce here. Again, another day this is helping my portfolio. I'll take it. Green is good. Start the year off right for me. Netflix is doing good too. We bought Netflix. So, yeah, a lot of data today. Again, potentially the court's opinion window starts at 10 a.m., which is the first time a tariff ruling could drop. But again, they haven't really said if the tariff case is in today's batch. Again, this happened last Friday. It wasn't in the batch. But we'll try it again. Day 2 of this. Again, PPI inflation data live, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We will see what happens here today for PPI inflation. Yeah, it should be interesting. Bitcoin all the way back up to 95s basically right now. 95K for Bitcoin. Yeah, I see the 30-year mortgage rate data. 30-year mortgage rate showed up at 6.18% from 6.25% right now. I'll put that up on screen. I did just look at that. That's right here. Again, I'm also seeing some pressure in the US dollar Japanese yen pair following reports that CDP and Komeito are holding talks regarding forming a new party. It fell from 158.71 to 158.15. Starmer's also speaking right now, I think. Yeah, S&P down. Oil back up to almost 62. Bitcoin back up. Here's the S&P. S&P's down under 7,000 this morning. Bank earnings released. So we did have bank earnings come out earlier. Mostly investment banks, but we had some consumer banks as well. We had Wells Fargo. They posted 162 EPS. Expected 166. Revenue of 21.29 billion. They expected 21.58 billion. So in the EPS, they missed, in revenue they missed, but these might be adjusted. So Bank of America also released numbers. You can see BAC here. They're up a little bit. They're at $55 a share. I'll put these numbers up on screen. And then we'll get a timer going here. Here's Bank of America. Here is Wells Fargo. Yeah, PPI inflation data today, guys. It's time. Again, Bank of America, here's their base EPS and revenue. 98 cents. They expected 95 cents. I'll post all that to the chat right now. Let's get our timer up here as well. Again, NASDAQ bounced right here at this 25.7 level. It's over 750. It seems to be holding some. Bitcoin again back up a little bit. Wait, so I'm seeing this. The Supreme Court indicated on its website that it had set Friday as an opinion day, suggesting it will release decisions in argued cases. Is this delayed? Hold on, let me see. So I'm reading an article on Yahoo Finance. It says the president's most sweeping tariffs face a landmark test. Supreme Court is set to rule on the implications and legality of them. High Court's first opportunity to issue a verdict came and went last week. They indicated its next opinion day could come January 14th, which is today. It should be around 9 o'clock Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. The question is, how does the market react? The president said on social media, if the Supreme Court rules against the U.S. on this national security bonanza, we're screwed, end quote, U.S. president. Besson also told Reuters, it won't be a problem if we have to do it, but I can tell you that if it happens, which I don't think it's going to, it's just a corporate boondoggle. Costco, who's suing the U.S. government, are they going to give the money back to their clients, end quote. And again, China's trade surplus hit a record 1.2 trillion last year in 2025, despite the tariffs. Okay, let's do a poll here. We're also gonna get our timer up. Let's get our timer moving. Again, I see microchips moving a little bit today as well outside of banks. Here's Nvidia down to 184s. AMD down from 220s. Google had a good day. NASDAQ seems to be rising back up. But yeah, Google had a good day yesterday, it looks like. Or kind of a good day. We kind of gave some of it back in pre-market. But again, Bitcoin, silver, gold, all at all-time highs. Not Bitcoin, but gold and silver at all-time highs again. 90 plus for silver. 91s right now. That's a crazy move for silver. Checking up other news. A lot of bank earnings released. Oil is up. All right, let me get my timer rolling here. I'm looking for my new timer. I can't find it. There it is. Yeah, so PPI inflation, I'm trying to figure out what's it is delayed PPI inflation data. I think it might be October data. It could be November though. I'm looking at a couple different reports. Again, retail sales last time was 0.3%. I'm looking at a couple different sources for this. On one, I see it's October. MarketWatch has it set at November. Okay, so I think we're getting October and November today. October's expected at 0.2%. 0.2%. So let me fix this timer that we got going on. All right, how much time we have? We have about an hour and 24 minutes. Or no, an hour and 4 minutes, I mean. All right. There we go. There's the timer. The timer is now live. I don't know. People were saying the market was going to crash on CPI inflation data, and that's just not what happened yesterday. And so what you learn is that shorts are going to tell you the market's going to crash regardless. Doesn't mean they're right. Again, gold, Bitcoin. Bitcoin just popped over 95,000 as we speak here. Again, we did have bank earnings this morning. Specifically, Wells Fargo posted 176 EPS versus 166 estimates. Revenue of 31.56 billion for Wells Fargo. Is that right? We had Bank of America also. Citigroup's supposed to release theirs in 35 minutes or so. Yeah, I'm looking at AMD. I see AMD's movement. I'm looking at oil as well today, though. Again, like if we can take a look at yields. Yields are down today again. They're at 4.156. So they are down a little bit today. We can take a look at the Fed watch tool and see we're still 95 to 5% likely. This is really kind of saying flat. I think it's very unlikely that we cut rates this month. Wondering if I should short this in futures. What do you think about gold today? I don't know. It's all around all-time highs here. I'm curious to see if the odds for rate cuts changed. Here's March's odds. March is still 73% likely we pause in March as well. April, 59% likely. June is when it pivots to a majority thinking we're going to get at least a 25 basis point cut by June. 47.5% likelihood right now in terms of price, markets pricing that in. The Japanese yen is moving on reports of, I saw the news earlier for that. So there's pressure following reports that the CDP and Komeito are holding talks regarding forming a new party. So if we look at the Japanese yen, no. It turned a little bit. It kind of bounced back some here, and it's still up over the last 5 days. But yeah, this news dropped it. We'll look at bond yields in Japan. Yeah, they're up over the last 24 hours. Early bird gets the worm, yeah. Hey, we're here. PPI inflation data today, guys. We got some stuff to cover. Finally, man. We had it's been a slow period of markets for the last few weeks leading into January. The last week, we finally got some good stuff. And then next week, we got some good stuff as well. So it's going to be a busy time here. Today, we have Goolsby's supposed to be doing some type of radio interview. We have retail sales data for November. PPI inflation data, potentially for November and October. Business inventories at 10, existing home sales at 10. We got Moran speaking at 12:30. We got Bostic speaking at 12. We have Kashkari speaking at 11. And then tomorrow we got jobless claims, Philly Fed index. And then Friday we got some more stuff too. So yeah, I'm looking at, we got Martin Luther King Day. I think markets are closed, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. Futures might be open though. I'm wondering if I should short this move right here. Chat, what do you guys think? You know what? I'll try it. Hey, what's up, Mama Pawn? What's up, Tiny? Good morning. Yeah, I mean, the ruling today is definitely one of the main events for sure. Yeah, so the ruling is definitely one of the main events for sure. I mean, it's not just PPI, it's retail sales as well. We got retail sales, we got more stuff. You know, Bitcoin over 95,000 here, guys. Bitcoin over 95K. Yeah, I didn't sleep the best last night. I tried to go to sleep. And I got in bed in time. I got in bed, like, I had to be in bed before, like, 11 o'clock. Or I had to fall asleep before 11. I got in bed for, like, 9. Couldn't go to sleep. Couldn't go to sleep at all. I don't know what it is. I took some melatonin. That didn't help either, you know. Again, we had bank earnings this morning. But again, as of now, markets are pricing in about a 70% chance the Supreme Court rules against the president's tariffs today. 70% likely. The president said the U.S. will have to pay back trillions if they're ruled against. And so we're going to see what this looks like in markets. We'll see how it affects markets. Do you guys think if they reverse the tariffs? And let's ask this question as a poll option here. If they reverse the tariffs, do markets react in a bullish or bearish way? I'm curious about what you guys think about this. Vote on the poll. Let me know what you guys think. If they reverse the tariffs, do markets react in a bullish or bearish way? Vote on the poll. The poll is now live. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, Halo guy. I tried to play Halo Master Chief Collection Halo 3 yesterday, bro. And it's so slow to me. Like, I feel like I'm in slow motion trying to play Halo 3. Has it changed that much? Because I don't remember. My friend and I tried playing yesterday. And my son will play with us sometimes too. Halo 3 is very slow. I don't know what it is. I think it's the frame rate. All right, guys. So anyway, my short is red right now. I'm going to add to this. Ruling against tariffs is going to create way more uncertainty. Yeah, currently we're 50-50 split. And I think they're going to find ways to implement them in other ways using other precedents anyway. And so it might restart the volatility cycle. I'm not sure how markets will react, though. I think they could react either way. Look at silver, guys. Silver's still breaking all-time highs. 91.50 basically all-time highs for silver right now. So look at silver on my... on the middle side of the screen to the left of my side right here. Look at silver, guys. Silver's still pushing up. 91.60s right now for silver. That's a crazy move. All right, so we'll probably have to cut this trade. That's all right. It's small. But again, we got PPI inflation data today. I'll give this one more second to test the 200 exponential and see if we come back down. I'm also looking at Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, all down today for the most part. Not very little of them are green today. Good thing we took a little bit of profit in Oracle, but my silver trade again helping me today because silver just continues to break highs. I have a 49-inch ultra wide monitor is what I look at right now. So it's a 49-inch ultra wide. All right, I'm just gonna cut this. It's a small loss right now. Do I want to cut the rest? We'll see. Maybe I'll hold that little guy on. Google currently, and again, it might be different on your screen, it's at 335s. Alphabet 335s right now. Closed at 336.50. It's at about 335.50. So Again, I did a poll here. Most people think that if they reverse the tariffs, it's a bullish thing, according to the poll. But although it's not necessarily really one-sided, it's pretty middle. Silver's still pushing higher here, almost $92. Will silver break $100 this week? Per ounce in silver futures, will it break $100? It's very, very close. Very, very close. Again, we don't really have a majority odds. The odds of a 25 basis point cut have decreased to 2.8%. 2.8%. And so we'll see what happens. But 2.8% is now the recent odds. Yeah, here's my monitor setup. If you guys ever want to see it, this is my monitor setup that I have on this computer. I watch this trade, but yeah, this is the monitor setup. This is a 49-inch ultra wide. This is the monitor that you guys see, and then there's Steve right there. Everybody will think it's bearish, so maybe the other way, bullish. Look at it, Nvidia, silver's the next GameStop. Yeah, I mean, it's behaving like that for sure. Look at Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin back over 95,000 today. Back over 95K. I see news that the U.S. military opened new air defense coordination cells in Qatar. All diplomatic contacts between the U.S. and Iran have been suspended. And this should be helping oil, I'm assuming. I mean, if you look at oil, oil's elevated on the day. It's at 61.50. It hit 62s earlier. Again, Bitcoin is up ahead of PPI inflation data. Wells Fargo CEO sees the pace of loan growth picking up in the conference call, the earnings call. Yeah, it's a curved 49-inch ultra wide monitor is what it is. Like, I used to have 3 monitors on the bottom. But there were so many cords that came from that. When I saw this big of a monitor, you know, for sale, I was like, hey, I could probably just put that one in. It's going to replace all the other 3. Be much less work, much less cords, and just be a cooler setup. And so that's what I did. Yeah, before I put the Russian Tsar picture of me up, Carol got me the Russian Tsar picture for our anniversary. It's a picture of me in like a Tsar outfit, you know. Yeah, look at so my trade finally went green. I'm still holding one little baby contract here. We'll see if it continues. Silver making a dip here, but again, Nvidia, Meta, Alphabet, you know, Microsoft, all pretty red on the day. So mostly red today. Bitcoin is green though. Gold is up. Silver is up. And again, we're all waiting for the PPI inflation data that's releasing in about 50 minutes or so. Yeah, that's actually exactly what it is, Sam. It's an odyssey. Again, bullish or bearish today. Looking at our poll, 52% think a reversal of the tariffs would be bullish. I don't know. Again, we don't know if it's in the batch today. We don't know if we're going to get the news, but markets are going to be freaking waiting on that news for sure. So it'll be interesting. Again, we did have earnings today. Wells Fargo BDPS in revenue, Bank of America BDPS in revenue, Infosys BDPS in revenue. We're still waiting on Citigroup. I think Citigroup is supposed to drop at 8 o'clock Eastern for Citi, which is C. And again, we'll see what that looks like. We did have some bank earnings today. Again, yesterday, Bitcoin ETFs bought 750 million Bitcoin. BlackRock led with 351 million, which is the largest daily inflow since October. So if you take a look at this, it would make it the largest daily inflow since October. And again, Bitcoin is looking pretty solid up there at 95,000. Will it break back over 100K? Let's see. It should be around 10 o'clock. If they're going to start releasing the opinion information at 10 a.m. Eastern time today, 10 a.m. Eastern. We will stream it live, so we will be live for that. And again, we'll see what happens. But it should be at 10 o'clock Eastern time today. But again, we don't know if it's actually in the batch. What's up, Chase? Markets crashed when tariffs were first announced, so it makes sense for it to go up if reversed. Yeah, and I think that's a plausible thing. Yeah, silver getting back up there around highs again. 91.70s for silver. 91.80 basically is the all-time high now. Gold still sitting pretty high up there. We'll see if gold tries to make a move for 5K. Again, Bitcoin over 90,000 or 95,000. I'm watching 95,000 closely. Most Mag 7 stocks are red today, guys. Bahad, yeah, doing good, man, doing good. Yesterday I made some money. Today we're gonna try to make some money too. I'll probably have to cut this though. I mean, we're flat. Just one little micro contract. I want to see if it breaks down, but look at silver breaking highs again. 91.80 plus now for silver futures. 91.80 plus now per ounce for silver futures. I think the decision on tariffs is bullish either way. Yeah, maybe. Hey, 96K. Make your money, Tiny. I hope you do. Yes. I was very... I don't know if it's luck or skill. Let me know which one you guys think it is. But I bought silver. When did I buy silver? Let me see. I'm trying to think of what day I bought silver. Hold on, let me look. Buy positions. I bought silver on the 29th of December. The 29th of December, I bought silver. So that was a few weeks ago. Yeah, so I bought silver. I was late to the party for sure. But I bought silver here. You love to see it. You love to see it. Because now silver is here. So we bought silver a few weeks ago, and yeah, you love to see it. You love to see it. Silver flying right now. I'm waiting to see if my positions will actually go green. Again, Bitcoin right at 95,000. We'll see if it bounces right here. We do have PPI inflation data and retail sales data today. So again, PPI inflation and retail sales data today. Yeah, I was mostly a gold person. After being wrong about gold a few years ago, where I thought gold was a little sketchy at 2K, I kind of switched to buy gold a lot. But then once I noticed the silver run, I'm like, hey, let me buy some silver too. Top 3 bandwagon jumpers in the world right now. We are breaking down a little bit on the NQ here. Let's see if we continue. Silver, though, guys, still climbing. It did pull back a little bit from its highs, but look at that range, man. That's a big range for silver. It was just at 80s. It's back down to 60 now, but what a big range. And again, we do have PPI inflation data. We did have some upgrades. FN upgraded at Barclays. Rivian is downgraded at UPS. And we are heading into what is usually earnings season mid and late this month. I don't know if I'm a grifter per se. I'll put it this way. I've been covering CPI, inflation, FOMC meetings before it was cool to do. I'm not going to say I created the trend of covering economic reports, but now everybody and their grandmother tries to cover them. Cheers to them. So I wouldn't say I'm a grifter necessarily. I think I'm a trendsetter, personally, you know. Top 3 trendsetters in the world right now. That's all I'm saying. I'm ahead of the trends. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys. I'm still in this trade. Let's see if it goes well. Silver pulling back at 91.5s right now. I would like to see silver bounce here. Oh, I'm definitely a grifter on precious metals. But I mean, I think that's just following the money, you know. All right, guys. So we're starting to break down a little bit more. There we go. That's better. I'm going to add to this, actually. There we go. Take half of that off. Cut the rest right there. All right, guys. 45 minutes until the data comes out. We got the timer. Y'all like the new timer? Pretty cool, right? I can't figure out what size I want it to be. I can put it big like that so everybody sees. I guess that's probably the best move. Let's see if silver bounces. Again, it is starting to bounce a little bit at 91.5s right here. And move this up to an actual 91.5s, which is right there. All right, we're starting to break down here. We're at 25.770s. Again, let's see if silver holds. It wants to hold at 91.5. So Bitcoin, again, right at 95,000. And we do have PPI inflation data today. Core retail sales are also dropping today, as well as retail sales report. They're expected at 0.5 and 0.4%. Did I really mess up this, Ugh. I have to fix my timer. I think my timer's a little weird here. What does it say? 0.2%, 20 month over month. Oh. How much time we got left? We got what, like 40? We got about 40 minutes left. Should have held that short. Bitcoin now at 95,000 exactly. So Bitcoin right at 95,000. Again, we should have Citigroup earnings dropping in about 11 minutes. So we'll see what that looks like. I don't know what's up with this. I set the countdown timer to say something and it doesn't say it. It's weird. Hold on. Whatever. We'll just leave this up. Keep it small. Is the market going to crash today? And if so, why? I think you could argue tariff decision if markets don't interpret it positively. I think you could argue, I don't know if you could argue PPI inflation data as easily. We got 55% think a reversal of the tariffs would be bullish today. Outside of that, the news is a little bit lighter here. We did have some bank earnings earlier. Again, Citigroup scheduled to release theirs, I think, at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Oh. So I want to short this 775 level here. I don't know. Yeah, they crashed. Maybe you could argue a correction. I mean, nothing's definitely... We don't know if the tariff decision is going to be in the batch today. We thought it might come out Friday. We stuck around, and then it didn't come out Friday. So we don't know if it's going to be in the batch today. I will let you guys know, though. So I will let you guys know if the tariff decision is going to be in the batch today. Silver over $90 an ounce right now. Yeah, we had some upgrades. Below just upgraded to sector outperform at Scotiabank. OKTA upgraded to overweight at Stephens. Again, I did see Rivian was downgraded at UBS. FN upgraded at Barclays. The market's honestly really flat. It's not doing anything. Yeah, so I know the CME changed how silver margins are set and effectively lifted them again. This was on Monday, though. So they did change silver margins Monday, January 12th. Yeah, so COMEX silver is now on a percentage system at about 9% of notional value, which is roughly 9 to 9.9% depending on account and risk. Previously, it was an old fixed dollar margin that had already been hiked to around 32.5 per contract earlier this month. So... Again, silver dipping down a little bit under 91.5s. We got this previous high right here, though. Let's see if that holds now. Bitcoin's still trying to hold support at 95,000. And again, most markets are waiting for this economic report string of data to come out here. I like the 200 exponential, and I think the 200 EMA influences it heavily. This is the 200 exponential right here. Look at how much we bounced off of it just in the last few minutes. Like, I like it a lot. Like, I think if you can find head and shoulders patterns around the 200 exponential, shoulder, shoulder, head, right? Head and shoulder pattern. If you can find these around the 200 exponential or the volume weighted average price, it works really well. You just got to kind of look for it. Again, JP Morgan kickoff on a sour footing, but Bank of America is still doing well ahead of Citigroup's release. Citigroup should be releasing theirs in about 7 minutes. Silver, we get a brutal correction. Natty gas will go parabolic soon, maybe. Yeah, look how quiet Bitcoin is right now at 95,000. So it is a little quiet here. Yeah, I might short this again. I think we have enough time. If we get back up to the 200 EMA, I might short it again. Although, I got to be careful. Yeah, the market's choppy right now. I mean, again, we're ahead of economic reports. And so sometimes ahead of big reports, market is just stagnant. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing now is market doesn't know where it wants to go. Not really much big volume showing up. Yeah, we're in a small trade now. I want to see if we reject here. There we go. If it stays down, though. Yeah, I mean, silver's obviously higher. It's at over $90 an ounce right now. Again, my stock portfolio is doing really well based off of my silver buy on in late December. We did buy silver late December. and we are up very nicely from it. I think we'd be green on the day regardless of silver, though, but yeah, Citi is supposed to drop in about 5 minutes. So we'll see what Citigroup does. Here's Citigroup right here. I'll cover it when the numbers come out regarding Citi, but they're supposed to release in about 5 minutes, 4 minutes actually. So we've been taking a couple trades, but really the market direction is flat. And so we're keeping it pretty small so far. Letting it test the 200 exponential. I'm not going to list everything in my stock portfolio. I am green on Disney, green on Home Depot, green in Coca-Cola, green in Meta, green in Nike, green in Oracle, green in silver. And I'm holding probably like... I'm holding some other stuff too. Now, I've got a bunch of different accounts. This is kind of my swing trading account. It's like my swing trading slash longer term or short term investing. It depends on what you want to call it. But again, I got multiple different accounts. So, all right, so we are down a little bit, or we are up a little bit now on the trade. I don't want to see 775 bounce it right here. But we are very flat right now, guys. Very flat in markets. We'll see if this improves. Goldman Sachs maintains the forecast of roughly stable Iran 26 crude production of 3.5 barrels per day, million barrels per day, following the announcement of the 25% tariff. Again, let's watch Citigroup to see if we get some reactions here. Citigroup should be releasing sometime soon. But again, it's overall kind of quiet right now. We'll see what Citigroup earnings show. Who said 52 minutes? Yeah, do not follow me. I'm not an investment professional. Top 3 least financial professionals ever. Don't copy me. Not liable if you do. Again, if you lose money, I don't know whose fault it is, but it's definitely not mine. That's all I'm saying here. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to just wait, I think. Citigroup might be coming out. I don't want too much volatility here. We'll keep it pretty flat on the day. Again, Citigroup drops at about a minute and a half. Yeah. I don't even know what financial advice is. It's definitely not what I give you guys, though. All right, guys, a minute and a half. A minute and a half. We'll see what Citigroup shows. See if it moves market. Citigroup now down, though. They're down to 115s. Kashkari sees the president's Fed actions about monetary policy. All right, we're waiting for Citigroup. They should release theirs in about any time in the next 60 seconds. They're not the most punctual sometimes with earnings. Not even Citigroup necessarily, but all companies are not the most punctual. So we'll see if they release theirs 30 seconds or so. We should get a number for Citigroup. We'll see, though. We're waiting. All right, here we go. 20 seconds. All right, look at silver, guys. Just hit $92 an ounce for silver. Here goes Citigroup. Let's watch for it. I don't see any volatility from it. It's also 8 a.m. right now. Again, world oil demand, according to OPEC, is at 1.4 million BPD, unchanged from December 27 world oil demand is forecast to grow by about 1.3 million barrel per day year over year. Again, nothing for Citigroup, but look at silver, guys. Silver at $92 an ounce right now in silver futures. Yeah, it's actually at 10 a.m., I think, Chris. At least we'll know if it's on the batch for 10, is what it is. But we'll know if it's on the batch for 10 a.m. All right, guys, so Citigroup's moving a little bit. I don't really see much volatility here. There's Citigroup. Look, Citigroup just bounced up to 117s. See if it holds. I don't see anything yet, though. I don't think it's out. It's scheduled for right now, but I don't see it right now. Okay, so Citigroup. Okay, I think Citigroup is out. Yeah, Citigroup posted fourth quarter revenues at 19.9 billion, excluding notable items at 21 billion. Fourth quarter net income at 2.5 billion. Fourth quarter EPS at 119, excluding notable items at 181s. Citigroup expected about 165, so adjusted EPS, which again is excluding notable items, showed up at 181. But they're kind of unchanged from it. They're not really moving that much. Bitcoin back down to 95,000. And again, silver testing all-time highs again today at $92 an ounce right now for silver futures. Market is very quiet ahead of all the data today. Again, markets are kind of quiet right now. If they do reverse the tariffs, do markets react in bullish or bearish way? Let me know. Again, Citigroup 181, they expected 165. Revenue 21 billion, they expected 20.5. And this is excluding, this is adjusted EPS and adjusted revenue. What I do think is funny about earnings is that a company can lose a bunch of money doing something, and then during their earnings report, basically be like, hey, if we exclude that big thing that we lost a bunch of money on, these would be our numbers. These are our adjusted numbers, excluding this one big thing that we lost a bunch of money on. I think that's funny. But listen, I think it's also a game of like companies want to beat EPS and revenue, so they do whatever they got to do to do it. Go Tigers. Yeah, that's right. Nasdaq's falling down a little bit. Silver hit 92.16 an ounce. Gold, on the other hand, 46.43.80. The gold pulling back a little bit, but silver again at all-time highs. Bitcoin now under 95,000 here. Look at this drop in markets, guys. Wow. Look at this dip. Not Citigroup. This is not Citigroup tanking markets. Look at this drop. Whoa. Yeah, so PPI. Okay, so PPI is coming out today. For November. So we're getting November PPI. October PPI is canceled. This is November PPI today. Citigroup, again, posted numbers, but they're not really what's dragging the NASDAQ or the S&P down. Look at this drop. NVIDIA, no. I don't really know what's dropping markets right now. Let me check other data here. But yeah, today's data is going to be November PPI data. Yeah, so maybe OPEC plus crude output averaged 42.83 million BPD in December, down from 238 1,000 BPD from November. Oil's back up to 62s. Bitcoin falling back down as well here. Look at this, 94.5s for Bitcoin. Yeah, Citigroup posted earnings, but it's not really it's not what's moving this. Look at this level right here though, bro. I don't even know where this level I had came from. This level was here before. So I don't know where that level showed up. It's kind of a random 762.25 level, but we bounced exactly at that level here. So again, we got 24 minutes until PPI inflation. I mean, this isn't a crash. This is just zoomed in. I mean, this is a dip, not a crash. Yeah, it's not a huge move. It just kind of broke us out of that range, though. I mean, I would argue we bounced at least a little bit here. If we went from 62 to 72, that's a, $10 bounce. People trying to front run the news, maybe. Broadcom? AVGO? Yeah, but the move for Broadcom happened early this morning. Oracle's down a little bit as well. So, we'll see. Yeah, a lot of the time we get choppiness, but again, this is November data. If we look at the Bureau of Labor Statistics website here, here's the BLS site, right? So today is January 14th. So the PPI inflation report we're getting today is for November 2025. It was originally scheduled for December 11th. Now it's coming out today, Wednesday, January 14th. Again, the PPI report for November. October PPI report's not coming out, I don't think. Let me see the notes. So it's not going to produce an October report. So it's going to publish October and November 25 today, January 14th. So it's going to publish some data for October today. But we're not actually getting a separate date for October. So today we get October and November inflation data is what we get today at 8:30 in 22 minutes. Tariff news is coming out at 10 a.m. At 10 a.m. Tariff news is coming out. Eastern time. Kashkari speaking on rates and inflation said entirely plausible that we are sitting here well above our target for 2 to 3 more years in the New York Times Post. He said he was wary of cutting rates due to elevated inflation, adding the president's tariffs would continue to push up prices over time. Again, this is Neil Kashkari. Again, he said it's entirely plausible that we are sitting here well above our target for 2 to 3 more years. He said if monetary policy is really so tight, we should not see an economy that is exhibiting such resilience. Bitcoin back over 95,000 though. So basically a higher for longer stance from him. We can take a look at yields to see what they're doing on this. Let me exit out of some of this stuff. Hold on. Yeah, yields are down today, but again, I don't know if they're moving much on what he said. They're up a little bit. Higher for longer stance for interest rates may be affecting that. So we did bounce here. We're back up to 775. Look at that rejection. AMD. Yeah, so again, today for PPI inflation, we're getting both October and November data in 20 minutes. October and November data in 20 minutes, guys. Higher or lower? I'm going to do a poll right now. All right, so vote on that poll. Again, yields moving up a little bit in anticipation of the PPI report. We also get retail sales dropping simultaneously with this. Again, retail sales are expected today at 0.4% for core retail sales, 0.5% for headline retail sales. So a big day of reports here, guys. Again, so we got October PPI, November PPI, November retail sales, and more coming out at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. NASDAQ is right back up here. Yeah, I'm looking at futures. Forex and futures are similar, though. I like futures a little bit better. There's less red tape. But yeah. All right, guys. PPI inflation data. Again, this is October PPI and November PPI. Here we go. We're at 775 right now. Let's see if that rejects. I almost want to short this, but how much time do we have? We have what? 18 minutes left? We got over 1,300 people here. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button as well. Chop City. That's a lot of PP. It's a dad joke, but I'll take it, you know. I mean, lower inflation is generally seen as positive. We had lower inflation yesterday, but markets kind of corrected and ended mostly flat. And so lower inflation is generally better. It's going to evoke more positive market reactions. Higher inflation is generally worse and is going to evoke more negative reactions. It means higher for longer rates, essentially. And again, the Federal Reserve, their job is to maintain balance, right? So high inflation means they can't stimulate the economy as well. They can't bring rates down as easy because they have to focus on price as well, right? So ideally, you want low inflation and strong labor, but both of those things can contradict each other. And so, like, the stronger the economy is, a lot of the time, the more inflation you're ultimately going to get. And, yeah. So their job is to maintain balance. If Bitcoin and crypto wants easing, and so do stocks to a certain extent, I think, they want lower interest rates, more stimulus. And so in order to get that, you need low inflation. In order to open the door and have less red tape or less blockage around bringing rates down, you need low inflation. You need price stability, because without it, lowering interest rates, especially doing things like money printing and quantitative easing, that might make inflation much worse. And so it's a balancing act by the Federal Reserve. And that's why I look at yields a lot, because yields and interest rates can follow each other. Right now, it's almost certain we're not going to cut rates this month. And this is what I said earlier this month as well. I don't think it's very likely we cut rates, regardless of what today's data is. Even if we get super low PPI inflation, and we had relatively low CPI inflation yesterday, it still doesn't mean we're going to cut rates this month. I think that's very I don't think we're going to do that at all. And so, especially not with the probe into Jerome Powell and all the stuff going on, I think that's just going to make it less likely we cut interest rates this month. Again, silver pulling back at 91.60s, 91.50s here again. But we got 15 minutes. All right, so we're dipping down here. Again, silver pulling back, Bitcoin pulling back. You can put up like Nvidia or just the SPY itself. SPY is down on the day. Previous closing price 693s, we're at 691s. Yeah, I mean, PPI inflation data is wholesale, like producer business inflation, essentially. It can sometimes lead CPI, but it's not perfect. And it's harder to gauge. It's noisy. It's a little bit noisier than CPI in a lot of people's minds. It like specifically measures the prices received by producers. So in theory, higher upstream costs can pass through to consumers later on, right? So it can lead it, but it's not perfect. There's some correlation and some predictive power for PPI to CPI, but it's moderate. All right, so basically it can be a predictor of CPI. It can lead CPI a little bit, but it's not a perfect metric. But it's relevant regardless. So again, today in about 13 minutes, we're going to get PPI inflation for both October and November. PCE inflation is the personal consumption expenditure index. It's what the Fed uses to gauge inflation a lot of the time, but they also look at CPI. But PCE is relevant because of that. I would say CPI inflation is the most watched. PCE inflation is very relevant though still. So it just depends. We got a lot of different inflation metrics. NASDAQ bouncing higher here. Still, it's been getting rejected at the 200 exponential basically all morning, which is right here. I want to see if it gets over that and holds, especially ahead of the inflation report that we get in about 13 minutes. Yeah, and again, this is all in the context of like the market wants rate cuts. I would generally say the market wants rate cuts. We'll see if we get them or not. We'll see if we get them or not. I don't think it's going to be this month. I think probably April or June is when we're going to get them. Again, I did a poll asking, does today's PPI inflation show up higher or lower versus expected? 46% think it's going to come in higher than expected. Again, 54% think lower than expected. Again, we have 12 minutes left. So that happens at 10 o'clock on the Supreme Court decision regarding the tariffs. It's at 10 a.m. Eastern time today is when we might know of the decision. We don't know if that case is in the batch today. So basically, I'm going to sit around at 10 o'clock and cover it and then let you guys know. Like I did last Friday, I'll let you guys know immediately if it's in the batch today or not. It might not be. Yeah, a lot of people think June, and June is actually when most people in the Fed Watch tool think that we're going to see something like that, is June. My guess is that's because that's when Jerome Powell steps down in May, and the next Fed meeting after Jerome Powell steps down is in June, right? But yields and markets are pricing in less than 3% likelihood of a cut this month in January, less than 3%. So it's probably not happening. Again, silver's been breaking all-time highs, 91 or 92.19 for silver futures. The big question is, when do we break $100 an ounce for silver? When do you guys think we break $100 an ounce? Next week, 10 a.m., end of the month. 10 a.m. will be interesting to watch. If we get a lot of uncertainty from the tariff announcement today, if we do get an announcement today, that could easily push silver over 100. I'm not sure if it will. I'm not an investment professional, but I think there's a chance that that happens. This week or next, in 2 days. Saying no in January and no until June are two different things. Well, yeah, but I mean, at this point, markets are pricing in no rate cuts until June. Now, we have a lot of it. Obviously, we have a lot of economic data coming out in between now and then. And so that is obviously subject to change. Nothing's 100%, especially in terms of Fed decisions. People like to look at what Jerome Powell said 6 months ago and then use that to try to determine what he's going to do today. But the data changes everything. And so sometimes Jerome Powell will be really dovish and then pivot to a hawkish stance or vice versa 6 months later. It doesn't necessarily, it's not rigid. You know, it can change easily. The way it's going this week, by the end of the month this week. Yeah, maybe. All right, guys, 9 minutes. 9 minutes. PPI inflation data. Yeah, cheers to all the guys watching. I appreciate all the guys and girls watching. Thank you. All right, look at Bitcoin. Back over 95,000. NASDAQ back over the 200 exponential. Silver making a push back up. It's at 91.80s right now. 91.80s. And again, today we are getting October and November inflation data. You can see November data is right here. And now we are getting that today, Wednesday, January 14th. If you click these notes right here for October PPI, it shows you that we're going to get the October PPI inflation data today as well. So we got both inflation reports. NASDAQ is falling. Look at this drop. Wow. And look at that candle wick back up here. Weird. Look at that wick. That was weird. Checking the tape to see if we have anything. I see the U.S. is withdrawing some personnel from major U.S. bases in the Middle East. But I don't think that... I saw that news maybe 5 minutes ago. I don't think that's what it is. What a weird candle. Look at Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin at 95.15s right now. Silver's still pushing higher. Again, 7 minutes. Maybe some front loading into the data here. Airbnb took Meta's generative AI leader to be the new technology chief. Yeah, they ate some liquidity there for sure. All right, guys, here we go. 7 minutes. You get PPI inflation data today, and then the decision on tariffs today as well. Hit the live button next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed. I appreciate it. 7 minutes. NASDAQ getting higher here. Could be Citigroup dragging it higher. I mean, Citigroup is going up now. Could be banks. Yeah, it looks like Citigroup is driving this higher. Up to 118 or 117.50s. Okay, the president just posted. NATO, tell Denmark to get them out of there now. 2 dog sleds won't do it. Only the USA can. Dinesh Intel warned last year about Russian and Chinese military goals towards Greenland and the Arctic. End quote, US president. Hey, thank you, GJK. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. So maybe the president's tweet influencing things. Citigroup is driving higher here, though. For 623s. Yeah, the tariff info is at 10 o'clock today, guys. 10 Eastern. 10 Eastern today. It's almost 8:30, so it's about an hour and 35 minutes is when we should get the tariff update at 10 o'clock. Again, it's not right now. It should be at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't read the full post. I just saw the cliff notes of it. Might have said other stuff. I don't know. All right, guys. Here we go. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I love you. Good day. All right, guys. 4.5 minutes. Again, PPI inflation data for both October and November is coming out today. October and November PPI inflation data. Hey, bud. Love you, dude. Good day, buddy. Yeah, leave them right there. I'll eat them. Pizza rolls? Alright. Yeah, go ahead, dude. I love you, bud. My son brought me pizza rolls. Alright, guys, we got 4 minutes left. 4 minutes. Again, bull or bear? Let me know. Bull or bear? The interesting thing is that we're not really getting much expectations today. I think PPI inflation data for November. Yeah, all we can really see is last time. We got the October delayed PPI report and the November delayed PPI report. But what's strange is we don't have a lot of forecasts from banks or analysts that we see here. We also have Moran speaking today. We got the tariff decision at 10 a.m. maybe. All right, so I see bull, bear, bull. Mostly bulls ahead of this report. Yeah, it's not like I ordered pizza rolls. He just brought me some. I don't know if I'm going to eat them or not, but it's better to try to eat them than waste them. All right, here we go. 3 minutes. Look at this pullback right here. Again, silver down ahead of this report. Always bullish, but we have some serious issues that will not allow a good pump. It is what it is. Oh, yeah. I'm going to do this, guys. Listen. I'm so confused here. I changed it to... It always says sub-only mode. It always says we're in sub-only mode. I don't know how. Is it in sub-only mode for you guys? Hey, let me mess with this. All right, guys. 3 minutes. It is, dude. I thought I put it to not sub-only mode. It like auto goes to sub-only mode. I don't know why. It's very strange. All right, guys, here we go. 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left for PPI inflation data. Yeah. All right, guys. 787s here. 787s. 9160s. Never bet against the weakening. I turned it off. I don't know. It says I turned it off. All right, guys. Here we go. A minute and a half left. The data forecasts are a little bit stickier. I'm showing core retail sales, which is also releasing at 8:30, expected at 0.4% for core, 0.5% for headline. PPI data, we don't really have that many expectations, to be honest here. So we don't really have that many. We're going to do our best to cover them. What I'm showing now for PPI is it's expected for November at 0.2% for PPI, 0.2%. Last time month over month for October was 0.3%. So we're going to get some of this data today. But again, I'm showing 0.2% expected for PPI. Or PPI expected at 0.2% as well, is what I'm showing here. Again, here's the data in about 45 seconds. 45 seconds. All right, here we go. Again, PPI inflation data, 30 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Here we go, guys. 15 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Markets are going up ahead of this report. Markets are going up ahead of this report. Here we get. And here's the report right now. Okay, guys, retail sales 0.6% month over month versus 0.5% expected. They also revised the last retail sales down 0.1%. PPI for October showed up at 0.2%. Year over year for October showed up at 3%. Again, core PPI showed up at 0% for October and 3% year over year. So again, PPI inflation did show up. Again, it showed up at me make sure this is right. Again, PPI did show up at 0% for core, 3% for headline. Again, 0% for core. Markets are not really knowing how to interpret this report. Look at these markets. Retail sales, again, month over month for November, 0.6% versus 0.5% expected. 0.2% month over month for PPI, year over year, 3% as well. So we got a couple different readings for October, 0.1% versus expected 0.3%. And then for November, 0.2% versus expected 0.2%. So I'll put some of this data up on screen. It is a little bit skewed because of the shutdown and everything, since this is a delayed report for October and November. So we got a couple different ones. Again, year over year for October, 2.8 versus expected 2.7. Core PPI month over month for October, 0.3 versus expected 0.2. November showed 0.2% versus expected 0.2%. And October showed 0.1% versus expected 0.3%. So I'm looking at two different readings here. But yeah, mostly I'm showing 0.3% versus expected 0.1%. So higher than expected, basically, is what I'm looking at here for inflation data. It's probably why the markets are reacting negatively. Here's one. Here's year over year for October at 3.4%. Year over year, I'm showing two different year over year readings. Core PPI at 3.4% for October. Year over year for October at 2.8%. Yeah, this is weird. Again, the data came out mostly higher than expected, though, is what you want to know. Retail sales also showed up a little bit stronger than expected. So, higher than expected data here. Higher than expected. Again, month over month for October, 0.2% is what I'm looking at. Core PPI month over month for October, 0.3%. For November, which is the more relevant data, it showed up basically flat at 0.2% month over month versus expected 0.2%. Markets did react. They reacted negatively. And again, retail sales showed up, I think, slightly stronger than expected at 0.6% versus 0.4% expected. Core retail sales also released today. They showed up at basically 0.4%. So, a little bit skewed data, to be honest, but mostly flat or higher than expected, I would say. None of it was really lower than expected that I see on my end. Again, month over month for October, we showed up at 0.2 versus 0.2% expected. Or for November, October showed 0.1%. Didn't really have an expectation for, but we showed up at 0.1%. Previously, it was 0.6% for September, I think. And then year over year, which is less relevant, was 3% for November and 2.9% for October. So again, a little bit flat to higher than expected inflation data, but it's hard to cover this. Because honestly, I'm seeing different readings from a lot of different places as well. Let's take a look at it. We'll take a look at the actual report now. Again, so here's the actual report. Final demand increased 0.2% in November for PPI. Seasonally adjusted Bureau of Labor Statistics final demand prices edged up 0.1% in October and advanced 0.6% in September. On an unadjusted basis, the index for final demand rose 3% for the 12 months ending in November. November increase in final demand prices can be traced to a 0.9% advance in the index for final demand goods. Prices for final demand services were unchanged. Index for final demand, less food, energy, and trade services went up 0.2% in November after moving up 0.7% in October. For 12 months ending in November, prices for final demand, excluding food, energy, and trade, climbed 3.5%, the largest 12-month increase since rising 3.5% in March. So again, this is higher than expected, I would say. Yeah, we do have a tariff decision going live at 10 o'clock, probably. It's not 100% for sure, though, but probably. But again, I'll put this up on the scroller at the bottom of the screen here. But it was mostly higher than expected today for PPI inflation. Although some people would call some of them flat. Retail sales were mostly flat or higher than expected as well. Again, the month-over-month readings are what you want to look at. Core PPI was 0.3%, expected 0.2%, I think. Again, this is for October, 0.3%. They expected 0.2%. For November, it was 0.2 versus expected 0.2. So these are the two most important readings. We also had retail sales. See if I can find that one real quick. Retail sales month over month for November, 0.6 versus expected 0.4%. All right, so that's all I can really fit on the scroller on the bottom, but that's most of the data here. Markets did not like this report. They mostly reacted negatively. The NASDAQ is down. Gold, silver are both down from this report. Bitcoin has retraced a little bit, but sometimes the first move is the wrong move here. But yeah, I would say it was a little bit higher than expected for both retail sales as well as inflation. But inflation's sticky because, like, okay, core PPI year over year expected at 2.7, showed up at 3% for November. Core PPI year over year for October, we didn't have an expectation, but it showed up at 2.9%, which is 0.3% higher than last time as well, right? And that's year over year. The November inflation data, core PPI showed up 0%. PPI month over month for October showed up at 0.3%. And then headline PPI for October was 0.1, and headline PPI for November was 0.2%. Yeah, so again, guys, in about an hour and 22 minutes, we might potentially get the big tariff decision. Again, in an hour and 22 minutes or so, we might potentially get the tariff decision. So stick around. All right, we got to get about an hour, 21 minutes now? Call it 22. There we go. Again, inflation is not good. Yeah, so again, inflation data was mostly higher than expected. Is the overarching conclusion to today's inflation report. Retail sales were also stronger than expected as well, but all of them were higher than expected. PPI was, although PPI month over month was kind of flat for November at 0.2. They expected 0.2. Last time was 0.1. Year over year PPI was higher than expected for both November and October. And then core PPI was lower than expected month over month for November, 0.3% for October. So again, will we get the tariff decision today? Let's do another poll here, guys. Will we get a Supreme Court tariff decision today? Yes or no? Will we get one today? That's the poll right now. Let's take a look at yields from this report. It looks like yields are down even more. They're 1.56%. So they've reacted slightly negative to this report in yields, which means lower interest rate potential, but you see the dip around 830. Yeah, they are down on the day, but not a lot. All right, so we had inflation data. Will we get the tariff decision today, guys? That's the big question. I don't know. I'll look at the poll in a second. Yeah, so again, tariff ruling should be coming out at 10 o'clock. If it's not on the report today, if it's not on the batch today, it's not going to come out, though. Again, silver making another move back up to 91.60s. So I did a poll here. Out of 200 votes already in about 2 minutes, 52% think no. 48% think yes, we do get a decision today. Again, Bitcoin over 95,000. The market did not like PPI inflation and retail sales data. And yeah, let's see what we get right now. I don't know. Yeah, we can take a look at gold. Gold's up a little bit. The dollar index, I don't know if it went up on the report. It looks like it actually went down. So, like, here's the Dixie right now. Here's 8:30 when the report came out 11 minutes ago. And then here's where we are now. So, we're actually down a little bit on the Dixie from this report. I don't know. I would say it depends on which data we're looking at. I like to choose to look at November data. November data was kind of flat. Month-on-month, 0.2. They expected 0.2% for November for PPI inflation. Core PPI for October, 0.3 versus 0.2, higher than expected for October. Year over year for October, 2.8 versus 2.7, higher than expected. Core PPI year over year for October, 3.4 versus expected 2 point something, so way higher for core. November data, though. Bank of America CEO says strong performance of consumer health is a good signal for continued improvement this year. But again, November data 0.2%. They expected 0.2% is what I'm looking at. So, but it's kind of skewed, to be honest. That we're not getting like huge reactions, and I'm almost seeing multiple. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna stream the SCOTUS decision. We're gonna stream that today for sure. Yeah, I mean, the market definitely reacted to PPI inflation. You can see this big candle right here. That's the PPI inflation report. Market didn't like it. I got too many windows up on my charts, but we can take a look at Fed Watch tool as well. The revised news. Again, consumer spending grew 5% year over year last year, according to Bank of America CEO. Again, so China is apparently restricting NVIDIA H200 AI chip imports. Chinese authorities have told custom agents that NVIDIA's H200 AI chips are not permitted to enter China and advised domestic firms not to buy them except in limited cases, effectively creating a temporary ban. This is despite recent export approval there, highlighting rising U.S.-China tensions. And again, if we look at NVIDIA is down on the day for sure. It's at 184s right now. We're starting to see more drops, but I just saw this news show up a minute ago regarding restricting H200 chips in China. Yeah, look at the market not like this report at all. Look at NVIDIA drop. So again, this market, again, we covered this live. Markets are dropping now on the report we just covered about H200 chip restrictions in China. Now, this is something that we've already heard a lot, but they're being a little bit more stringent with it. Again, Chinese authorities told customs agents that the H200 AI chips are not permitted to enter China. Advised domestic firms not to buy them except in limited cases, effective creating a temporary ban. Looking at our poll, will we get a tariff decision today? 55% say no. All right, guys, so we're going to take some trades. If we get a rip up to 760s, I might short it. But I need to move up here. We'll see if we get it. Yeah, the news about the H200 ban apparently has been come out multiple times over the last few days, which is strange. Yeah, so again, the probability of a pause now is like 97+%. 97+%, so. Yeah, we'll see if NVIDIA bounces, but you do see a direct correlation with NVIDIA. That's why I'm pretty sure this news is what's driving it, even if we've already seen something like this already. Just because you can see NVIDIA dipping down from like 184.80s all the way down to 184.50s. So... yeah, I don't know. Silver might rise more if they deem the tariffs illegal. I'm not sure. Bitcoin now under 95,000. Silver is still very close to all-time highs again. Basically, very close to $92 an ounce for silver and silver futures. Yeah, 10 a.m. for the Supreme Court decision, guys. 10 o'clock. What does a pause mean for markets? It just means less stimulus. Bitcoin probably won't like it as much. And so it just means like the Federal Reserve, if the economy's really weak and we have low inflation, they will lower interest rates, maybe stimulate the economy through quantitative easing, money printing, and more. But if inflation's high, we have less of the green light to do that. And so because of that, you know, a pause just means less stimulus, which Bitcoin wants stimulus. Market kind of wants it as well. So that's kind of what it is. The logic of it is that when rates are low, businesses can hire more people and expand and do all these other things. People generally spend more as well because they have cheaper access to money and leverage through lower interest. And so it kind of stimulates the economy in that regard. Yeah, we're still looking at breaking news here. Okay, wait a minute. Is this Tom Brady? I don't even know. Does this even look like Tom Brady? Is that Tom Brady? It doesn't look like him. I can't tell. Yeah, the timer's for the decision right now. I look at the 750 level. I am watching it. I wanted 760s. I would short that. I don't know about 750s. It's a little bit too tight. A little bit too thin right there. I don't know if there's enough meat on that move to take that trade. Are we bullish or bearish today? Chat? Bull or bear? Let me know in chat. Bull or bear? Let me know. Should I eat these pizza rolls for the first thing I eat this morning? I don't know, man. I usually try to fast. They're gluten-free pizza rolls if it makes you feel better. I mean, I could eat them. All right, so bull, no, bear, hard to tell. Bearish on the pizza rolls? Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna eat them. It's too early for that. Bitcoin now under 95,000 here, 95,000. If tariffs are deemed illegal, will prompt more debt issuance and the monetization by central banks to reimburse charges to cover the budget. Yeah. I don't know. I think Nvidia's starting to rebound back up here, so a long position might work. It just depends. And again, at 10 o'clock today, guys, we could get a potential tariff decision. We might get one. I'm not saying we will. I mean, Bitcoin's still pretty green over the last few days, though. I mean, Bitcoin has been mostly flat. I don't know why it always changes my timer. Bitcoin has been mostly flat this morning. But it is up substantially over the last few days. Like, look at this move for Bitcoin. So you can't expect it to go straight up. It is reclaiming some of that price points, some of those price points that it was earlier. I think 95,000 is a great level to be at for Bitcoin right now. How in the world did we go back to sub-only mode? See, remember, I turned sub-only mode off prior to the PPI report. Bro, it like forces sub-only mode, dude. What's going on? My knee is good. I trained yesterday, actually, and I actually rolled with people. And so my knees, it felt great. Felt great. Doesn't hurt at all. Foot feels good, you know? I rolled with a couple white belts that weren't very good. And I did okay. They might have been being nice to me, but, you know. Do I want to short? Look, I got to get into a short here. I feel like I'm going to regret it if it breaks down. And I'll just kind of add to this position as we go up to 762 or so. There we go. I've been taking higher risk. But we will see what happens here. We are now short. I think it's a reasonable short level. The 200 exponential and 775, though, is right here. So I'm hoping we go like this and break down, of course, but who knows what we're going to get. I don't hate the level short, but I think I need to be careful with it as well. It's almost too easy of a short here. Sometimes those get squeezed out quick. So we're flat though right now. We'll see what happens. All right, we're back to flat. Let's see if we flush a little bit here. There we go. I'm going to take some off immediately down here. Lock in some profit. If we keep breaking down. Silver is still around $92 an ounce. It's at 91.79s. So it's still pretty green on the day. It's up a huge amount over the last few days. I don't know what kind of impact the tariff decision. I know we're going to have some volatility from the tariff decision if it's announced today. But again, in terrible procedure, they don't tell you which cases are in the batch today. Like Friday, we thought we might get a tariff decision. We sat around waiting for 10 a.m. and then at 10 a.m. they only did one case and it wasn't the tariff case. And so in terrible procedural, stuff, they don't tell you which cases are in the batch. And so they basically make you sit around. So we'll cover it today at 10 o'clock if we get the tariff decision, but we might not. We might sit around and wait for 10 o'clock today and not get anything. Look at this breakdown. You love to see it. I'm going to take a little bit more profit here. Look for 750s. Take one more, hold the rest. We were traced a little bit, so I might add to it here. Again, the level held, the 762 level. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I had it on my charts prior to today. But for whatever reason, markets are just respecting it here. There we go. There's about 750. I'm going to lock this in right here. Attack this range. Could have held it, but it's okay. Market spells fear. All right, guys, we're at 750s right now. 750. Citigroup CFO Mason says banks cannot support interest rate cap would affect availability. Oh, so banks want no cap on interest rates. Who knew? Banks didn't want a cap on interest rates. Again, like, look, I don't really side with the president on certain things. I do side with him on others. Like, I'm very split with all of it. This is something I support. Put a cap on interest rates for the credit card companies. I think this is obviously something that, You know why? It's because, again, once you get to the lower income groups, at a certain level, people are going to take whatever they can, check to check, to help them breathe a little bit more. You know what I mean? And so, regardless of what interest rate you say, you could say, oh, well, don't get the credit card if it has high interest rates. It's easy to say that if you're not struggling, right? If you're struggling, you're going to take whatever you can. And that is, to a certain extent, predatory. Let's just be real. That's predatory to a certain extent. Put a cap on it. I support that for sure. Regardless of how I feel about the president or anything like that. And again, I'm pretty neutral. I support a cap on credit card companies. And you should too, All right, guys. So again, we're still consolidating between these two levels we have on our charts. All right, guys, we're sideways. All right, now we're kind of flat the last few minutes here. Hey, what's up, Relentless? Hope you're doing good, brother. What's up with Mitch? Mitch is doing good, I think. This was the last time I talked to Mitch. It's been a busy holiday, man. I've had people living at my freaking house basically for the holidays, dude. Sometimes you just don't want to see somebody when you're home. I don't care who it is. I don't care how well I get along with them. Sometimes I just don't want them here. Now everybody's gone though. I'm celebrating. We've had our house back the last week or so. Again, so according to the street, the U.S. Supreme Court is expected to issue its ruling on the tariffs today. It could issue its much awaited ruling today. According to them, it was April 2nd last year that he announced the sweeping tariffs, with China being a particular target. They argued deficits constituted a national emergency, and therefore the president could invoke the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, IEEPA, to issue the tariff orders without consulting with Congress first. It got challenged by the Supreme Court. And we'll see if they rule it legal today for the president to do what he did in April. All right, so we are moving back up to the 200 exponential. So we did get in well on our short. We covered it at exactly the right time, though. We got out basically around 750, and this is where we bounced at 750. Now we're moving back up to this level. I almost want to short it again right here at 775 on the NASDAQ. I don't know if I'm going to. I'll have to think about this. But we're at roughly 775 right now. Again, I don't know if I'm going to cover here or not. We'll see. I don't know yet. John, appreciate the streams. Do you have another profession? I've got a couple other skills that I do. I've made enough money to where I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I've made enough money to where I don't need to work as much. And so running the stream is kind of like a side business for me. It's a great business though. It really is. But again, I'm not going to go too deep into it. Again, we're moving up. I don't know if I'm going to short 775 or not. Silver, guys, almost to 92 again. It's back up to 91.80s for silver. I did buy silver a couple weeks ago at the end of December. I jumped on that bandwagon really quick, and it did me well. Again, I bought it at December 29th, I think is where I got in silver. So let's look at a 4-hour chart. Yeah, so I got in silver right here. Silver is now up here. You love to see it. I'm going to stay in it too, I think, and just let this money train continue on silver. PPI showed up. It depends on which metric you're looking at for PPI inflation. It might enable folks to get into more debt, or it may cause banks to be more restrictive on who they give credit to. I mean, I understand those things. I think you could also have a counter argument for it in which you say, hey, with higher interest rates, people are going to get into more debt with higher interest rates as well. So I think either way you look at it, you know, you could argue that people are going to in turn get into more debt because of it. Again, I think what you're missing is like the lower income population. They don't even pay attention to what the interest rates are, you know. And again, a lot of the time these credit card companies, they understand this, right? And they know if they keep sending them mailers, they keep offering these credit lines, that the lower income population is not even going to look at the interest rates to a certain extent. And you could say, hey, that's irresponsible. And again, I would also argue that if you're struggling, it doesn't matter. You know, people are going to use whatever they can to get out of where they are. And so I think at a certain point it's predatory. Yeah, there might be consequences, but you know, again, I think I don't agree with everything the president does. I do agree with caps on interest for credit cards. Now, it doesn't need to be super low caps, but there needs to be some caps on it. And there already are to a certain extent, but I see your point. I don't agree with it. Yeah, it's all good, brother. No worries. Again, we are almost back up to $92 an ounce for silver. Silver's at 91,975s. 91.92s here. Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin all the way back up over 95,000 here this morning. Treasury Secretary Bessent emphasized that excess volatility in FX market is undesirable in a Treasury statement. He said recent won depreciation not in line with fundamentals. He reaffirmed South Korea's strong economic performance. U.S. exporters are also selling 334,000 tons of soybeans to China. Microsoft spending on Anthropic AI is on pace to hit 500 million according to the information. Okay, so the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, may not appear at his next scheduled congressional hearings after the Justice Department served the Fed with grand jury subpoenas, according to the House Financial Services Committee. They relate to Powell's June testimony about renovations to the Fed's headquarters and raise risk of criminal indictment. Hill said the probe could prevent Powell from fulfilling his legally required semi-annual testimony. Yeah, so every year, Powell 2 times a year. Look at the NASDAQ breakdown. Maybe I should have shorted 770s, but it's all good. Again, Citi CFO says Powell has been a stalwart of Fed independence. Fed independence is important. Yeah, definitely top 3 stalwarts. I have no idea what that means. I don't think any of you guys do either. Let's be honest here. But every year, twice a year, Powell has to testify in front of Congress, in front of the House and the Senate. It's called the Semi-Annual Monetary Policy Report to Congress. It's a lot of posturing from both sides of the political spectrum, but 2 times a year he does that. What they're now saying here is that he might not be able to do that, even though he's legally required to, because of this subpoena. So we'll see what happens. NASDAQ is breaking down a little bit. I don't know if it's on this news or not, but I do see Bessent is still speaking. U.S. freezes all visa processing for 75 countries, according to news sources here. Are you trying to get into the UFC? No. Bro, I would get knocked out in 5 seconds. I would get tapped out in 5 seconds. Like, bro, I'm in my 30s. I just started training like 3 years ago. There's 0 chance I'm ever getting into the UFC, and I don't want to. Although, give me a fight with Jake Paul, I'll take it. I'll get beat up. Give me a fight with Anthony Joshua, I'd take it. Pay me $100 million, I'll sign up right now. But it's never happening. It's never happening. Look at Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin 95.3s right now. 95.3s. Yeah, I'm a mediocre blue belt in jiu-jitsu. A mediocre blue belt. All right, guys. 20 minutes until the opening bell. Let's see what we get. And I just tore my knee. My MCL was torn. I'm just healing from that, man. I'm finally healed back up from that, dude. I'll fight Jake Paul with 1 leg, though. Again, visa processing is frozen for Russia, Brazil, and Iran, according to Fox News. Yeah. Sign me up for the Saints, man. Yeah. Like saying you play football with some friends. Yeah, backyard football. I'm getting ready to try out for the Saints right now. They need a quarterback. Listen. I don't know. Shuck is okay. I don't mind Shuck as a quarterback. We'll see how they do next year. Again, the visa process freeze is going to begin January 24th and continue indefinitely, apparently. So the visa freeze is going to begin January 21st and begin and continue indefinitely. Yeah, I think markets are negatively reacting here. We do have a downward trend. And again, we have the opening bell in less than 20. The potential tariff ruling is in about 50 minutes or so. We're under 750 now. I'm watching this. What do you weigh, John? How much do you guys think I weigh? A gentleman never asks, okay? That's all I'm saying. No, I'm probably like 185 pounds right now. 180, 185 pounds. Give or take. I haven't weighed myself in a few weeks, but I would guess something like that. NASDAQ at 730s here, 730s, breaking this low of the last few hours here. So we've been in a range for the last few hours since 6 a.m. this morning. We're now breaking down, testing that low here, which is about 733 in NASDAQ futures. NVIDIA falling down a little bit. Silver pushing up to almost 92s. $740s. Jimmy asking me how much do I weigh? I'm gonna go with like 220, 210, 215. But muscle, you know. You're an ex-football player, right? Something like that. I'm 6'5" and only 192 pounds? Bro, you need to eat then, dude. Eat some food, man. Hey, thank you, man, from Sweden. Hey, welcome, brother. Welcome, man. Thank you. All right, guys. All right. Again, are you bullish or bearish for the opening bell in 15 minutes, guys? Let me know what you guys think. Bullish or bearish? Market's kind of choppy right now. It's kind of going up and down. We're not really doing that much, to be honest. We found ways to get in some trades, but not really easy to make money, I would say. Again, we'll see if the president's tariffs were legal potentially at 10 o'clock today. That's the big main event right now. And it's looking likely that we might get it. Give me a follow on x.com at Beginner Trades. $225, yeah, see. $196.5. You're like Machine Gun Kelly's alt account, then, is what I'm guessing. You know. 26% chance. Yeah, only about a 20 to 30% chance, depending on which market you look at, that the tariffs stay. So it's a majority likelihood that we're going to get reversal of the tariffs today. And the question is, what does the market do to that? Like, how does the market respond to that? We'll see. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think in chat. We did a poll earlier. A majority of people... Can't remember what people chose on the poll earlier. I have to go back and look. Hey, thank you for the donation, brother. My AGQ is 3.5x since my last super chat about it in September and October. AGQ. Yeah, I mean, AGQ is up. Hey, thank you for the donation, man. It's very green today, too. What kind of play is this? Oh, this is silver ETF. Yeah. Silver's up a lot. I was much more late to the bandwagon, but I still got on board. And with that said, silver up to almost $92 an ounce right now at 91, 92s. Yeah, I'm just messing with you. Honestly, my whole life I was super skinny. Like when I was like 18 and 19, I must have been like 130 pounds. Only when I had kids did I start eating, because kids have snacks. You got yogurt snacks. You got all these different snacks that kids eat. And as parents, you end up eating them. And so that's the only time I started gaining weight. Prior to having kids, I was super skinny. But yeah, thank you for the donut, brother. I appreciate it. I got in at 37. Wish I bought more. Yeah, look at Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin almost up to 95.6s here. It's at 95.599. There's 95.6s for Bitcoin. Over 95.6s now. Oh yeah, I charge a dad tax too. All right, so I don't want to short this again. I think it's almost too easy. And I think we're kind of sideways here. I think the markets are kind of waiting for the tariff decision potentially today. And so we had PPI inflation. It was kind of flat, it was rangy. October data was much different than the November data, but it was rangy. I would say most of it was a little bit higher than expected. Retail sales were higher than expected as well. And now we're heading into potentially 10 a.m. tariff decision, 13 minutes until the opening bell. I'm probably just going to sit on my hands and wait until this open. Is the poll not working today? It says 50-50. Hey, thank you, Freddie. Good luck, brother. Thank you, man. Yeah, my daughter used to have these little yogurt. They look like Hershey's Kisses, but they were yogurt. As like a baby. And you didn't get that many. It was like a little tube of them. I used to eat all of them. Carol would hate me for it because I would just eat all of them. Because they were good. It might have been baby food, but they were good. Hey, thank you, Chef. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, if they do reverse these tariffs today, we're probably going to see tariffs implemented in other ways. They're still going to find other precedents to implement them. Did you have GameStop in 2021? Yeah, honestly, that's where my channel got a little bit larger, was during the GameStop squeeze. I was one of the first people to cover it. I don't know. It was kind of weird, though. I've told this story before, but I thought GameStop was a short at like $6, $5. I eventually went long once it started to squeeze, though, and I started live streaming then. And I got in GameStop, but then I sold GameStop when it was at like $500 a share. Right? And I had thousands of people watching my stream. And as soon as I was like, hey guys, I'm getting out right here, everybody got upset. They got mad. They said, you don't truly support the movement. Honestly, in hindsight, it was right around the top. It never got that high again. And so I got out right around the top of GameStop. But you know how it goes. You know, at the time, especially, if you weren't always bullish on GameStop, you were against the movement and against the momentum. And again, at a certain point for me, once I hit a certain level of profit, I'm cutting the trade. You know, I'm not going to sit on that, you know. Again, that's just not my style. I might miss out on profits, but anyways, silver getting close. It's at 92.10s. 92.10s for silver. Maybe about to break all-time highs again. Yeah, some of you guys know about the yogurt snacks. You guys know. What tariffs can we expect after this decision? Section 122 Trade Act of 74. It'll let the president potentially put on more tariffs across the board, import surcharges up to 15% or quotas to address a large and serious balance of payments. We got national security tariffs, allow us tariffs on specific products or sectors if imports are found to threaten national security, like steel and aluminum. Could be expanded. Section 301 tariffs, maybe. They still have tighter caps, time limits, and procedural steps, though, so it's not like he could create the same tariffs he had. But they're going to find ways, I think. Anyways. Look at Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin's on a roll right now. The president said he's going to sign. What did he say? He said he's going to sign an order today on whole milk in schools. A little vague. Let me see if I can find the actual quote. Again, opening bell in 9 minutes, guys. 9 minutes. That was an hour ago. Again, Bitcoin flying right now at 95.7s almost. Nasdaq is kind of choppy and flat. Hey, what's up, Faye? I remember the milk pouches. Do they still have those? Where it's like little pouches of milk? Always a struggle to get the straw in there, though, you know? Again, the S&P hit 7,000 earlier this week. It's now down to 69.71s, but it did hit 7,000. Cartons now. Yeah, I mean, look at the odds right now for the reversal of the tariff decision. So the odds of a reversal are high. If we look at like Kalshi, currently about a 29.8% chance the tariff holds. Only about it's a look, only about a 29.8% chance that they keep the tariffs as of now. And this is basically what it's been for the last few days. It's been pretty sideways over the last few days. So it's less likely they keep the tariffs at this point in time. Almost a 3-to-1 dog in terms of tariff standing and holding. Again, if you want to check out Top Step, great way to help support the channel. I'll put the link up. No PDT rule on futures. You can day trade the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, Russell, gold, commodities. Great way to learn when most day traders lose. I'll put the link up. They are a sponsor of mine. I am biased. I get paid by them. So I'll put the link up. Great way to help support the channel. I'll pin it to the top of the chat if you want to check it out. Here we go, guys. We got about 5 minutes left. Tariff decision in about 35 minutes or so. I don't know. If they reverse the tariffs, I think you could argue that markets are going to interpret it as positive, because I think you could argue both sides. I've said this before, but I think you could reasonably argue, hey, when the tariffs were originally implemented in April, the markets negatively reacted to it. And so with that logic, if the tariffs are reversed, maybe we'll see the opposite reaction on the upside. I think that's a reasonable argument to be had. I also think you could also argue against that in this way. I think you could say, hey, if the tariffs are reversed, it's going to restart the volatility cycle that we saw from it, because the tariffs are ultimately going to get implemented in other ways anyway, eventually, most likely. Maybe not the same tariffs with the same limits, but tariffs regardless are going to happen. And it's going to restart a volatility cycle, create more of an unknown situation, and ultimately make markets react negatively. I think both of those are reasonable. I would more so side with the first one, but I think the second one is plausible as well. You know, so we'll see. Let me know which one you think is going to happen. Markets will go down if tariffs are reversed. Too much cost, chaos associated. Yeah, I mean, I think either way, I think precious metals might react positively. I don't know for sure, though. I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. Always make your own assessment. Trade smart. I can't guarantee anything, guys. Understand all this stuff on screen. I don't guarantee anything. Don't copy me. Not an investment professional. Yeah, we'll see. NASDAQ starting to fight back up. We have 3 minutes until the opening bell. I did a poll earlier. Again, we'll see what happens. We'll see. PPI was kind of mixed. It was higher than expected, mostly. As expected in some other ones. Look at the NASDAQ react negatively here. This might be the market on open affecting it. All right, look at the NASDAQ fall here, maybe on the market on open. Seeing some red in markets here ahead of the opening bell. Again, we got about a minute and a half left. No real news that I'm showing right now. Probably just the market on open volume numbers. A little bit of red. Still kind of stagnant, though, ahead of the tariff decision potentially today. All right, guys, here we go. 1 minute. Oracle bouncing back a little bit to 202s, though. Google Alphabet down a little bit. Again, silver's close to highs as well ahead of the open. Yeah, at this point, there's a 30% likely the tariffs stand. Maybe a little bit less than 30% likely the tariffs stand. So they're probably going to reverse them if we get the announcement today. All right, guys, 30 seconds. Oracle at 202.20s. Oracle spiking up right now. All right, here we go. Here's the opening bell. Yeah, moving averages are pretty flat. There's the bell. If that was delayed, hit the live button, put it in 2x speed, and you'll catch up. We are dropping a little bit at the opening bell, but we just bounced exactly at... Look at this level here, man. I'm not going to say it's the best level I've seen. Still too close to the open for me to take any trades. Yeah, S&P up a little bit. Nvidia down. Silver pulling back some as well here. The imbalance was negative 44 million on the S&P, up 5 million on the NASDAQ, up 1 million on the Dow, and Mag 7 was kind of flat. And Nvidia falling at the open, down to 183.70s here. Everything's kind of turning down here, red. Let's watch 700s underneath us now. We did bounce pretty significantly at this level. Look at the 700 level just crack immediately. Nvidia down to 183. Silver pulling back a little bit as well right now. CNBC reports that all cash bid from Warner Bros. For Netflix will be announced soon. I'm assuming they mean the opposite. All cash bid from Netflix for Warner Bros. Is what I'm assuming they mean. NASDAQ breaking down here, 680s. Nvidia falling at the open. Silver dipping at the open. Bitcoin pulling back a little bit. Mag 7 are down at the opening bell is what this is. All right, we're just crack lows again here. Nvidia is still breaking down under lows of the day as well. 182.50 roughly the low of the day for Nvidia. A lot of red this morning, guys. A lot of red. Nvidia still cracking lows. 182.20s for Nvidia. All right, so maybe 715s. I'll look for a short, though. It's still kind of early for me to trade, but I'll give it a second. Okay, look at this big bounce back here. Good thing I didn't short. A lot of stuff's rebounding back. Nvidia's not, though. Apple's popping up. Amazon's down. Netflix is down pretty significantly, too, here. What is this pop from? What stock is this from? Maybe Apple? Apple is a heavily weighted stock for sure. It's moving up a lot. Kind of strange, though. Look at this big move here. Wow. Just got ate up. The downward pressure just got bought up here. Denmark confirms plans to expand Greenland military presence. Again, U.S. is halting visa processing for 75 countries. But I don't see any moves. It's just probably Apple movement here. Apple went green. Alphabet rebounded a lot as well. Netflix is bouncing back some too. Wow. See if we hold now. And silver is dipping. Nvidia is bouncing back too. At the VWAP though. Whiplash and directions today. I think heading into the potential tariff decision, maybe. Palantir up to 181s. Again, we got the tariff decision in 25 minutes. I would normally buy this dip, but like we're a little whippy right now, to be honest. Maybe I'll try. All right, we just jumped in long. We might add a little bit to it, but we're right at the 200 exponential, so we got a little bit of space here. We'll add a little bit more, see if we retrace back up there. We'll let 750 be our risk or so, about 750. Yeah, we're gonna start to cut it right there. Just too quick of a drop. Yeah, I gotta cut it. Yeah, this is weird. Again, it's whippy price action. My guess is that it's because we're ahead of the potential tariff decision. And so markets are just whippy right now and volatile. Like, look. NASDAQ coming right back down here. Wow. The question is, how do you think markets will react if they do reverse the tariffs, which is already the majority likelihood thing? Okay, so we did get into a short actually here. Hold on, let me show you. We're up about 90 ticks right now. I might add to a bounce here. All right, there we go. We added. Take half off right there. We start to flush some more. We're kind of choppy here, though, to be honest. But I want to see if 715 rejects it right here. There we go. We rejected a little bit, but didn't hold. Let's see if we can keep going. There we go. I start to cut it. There we go. There we go. $7.15 keeps rejecting it. I'm going to cut it at the bottom of the range here just in case it gets bought up. We're very green on the day now, which is good, but it's a little whippy. The Supreme Court decision is supposed to be at 10 a.m. Yeah, so the Supreme Court opinion session starts at 10 a.m. and that's when any tariff ruling would be announced if the case is included in today's opinions, which we don't know yet still. Bitcoin is heading up here, guys. So Bitcoin almost up to 96,000. It's at 95.7s. Yeah, I mean, markets maybe priced it in already, but it's hard to tell, to be honest. It's hard to figure out whether they have or not, really. I'll actually put this up on the bottom of the screen. Feds Goolsby says central bank independence key to low prices. Yeah, I saw that already. All right, so again, the Supreme Court decision on the president's tariffs could drop at 10 a.m. Eastern time today if it's included in today's batch. Odds currently show 30% likely tariffs hold. All right, so you can see that at the bottom. NASDAQ's kind of chopping sideways neutrally here. Fed's Goolsby again said central bank independence is key to low prices. And we're heading in there now. We got 20 minutes left. 20 minutes. Yeah, we're currently kind of 50-50 split down the middle in terms of whether the tariffs are actually going to hold. Is it too late for Christmas music with bells? Picks up 8%. Yeah, it's probably because markets are down a little bit on this news. Nvidia down to 182.40s. It's been dragging the NASDAQ down. Bitcoin is reacting well to this, though. So we do see Bitcoin going up a little bit on this. Silver pulling back some as well. How come you only lose every day? Dude, I'm green on the day. You know? I mean, we're up small, but this is my week so far this week right now, guys. You know? It's the only account we've traded, I think, as well. But yeah, this is our week. We haven't had any losing days this week right now. Top 3 losingest ever trader in the world right now, I think. Michael Saylor's still posting. Bitcoin's going up too. It's at 96,000 right now. NASDAQ broke lows. We'll see if this holds. Yeah, it probably is a rage bait. I think I'm just going to ignore it. Bitcoin is mooning. I don't know if I'd say mooning, but it's definitely up. And I'm happy for it. I want Bitcoin to go up. All right, guys, 15 minutes left. 15 minutes left. NASDAQ's weak. S&P's weak. Nvidia's weak. Palantir's weak. Bitcoin is strong. .5% moon. Yeah, I mean, we're green. I mean, to be fair, my channel's called Beginner Trading Pulse. And so I don't even claim to be a good trader. You better believe it's less stressful to trade on the side where you guys don't see it versus showing everything and everything. Like, I don't need to do that. I don't sell a course. I don't sell a service. I don't claim to be a good trader. I'd rather not have that pressure and stress on me and just cover economic data, which is what I really like anyway. So, I mean, look. You'll be all right. Cry about it is basically what I'm saying today. All right, let's see if this 25.6 level holds. We're still breaking down, though. And again, this has to do with Palantir, Nvidia, some microchip stocks. So maybe the H200 chip news is scaring people. We did get news that H200 chips are being restricted more and more overseas. That came out earlier in the day, and we've seen a similar news story really for the last few months. But again, with that said, microchips are down since the opening bell started. Palantir's down. Nvidia's down. NASDAQ is down net as well, heading into the potential tariff decision. My Nan's kitchen. It's a nice kitchen. If this is, I don't even know what a Nan is. I'm from Louisiana, so we call our grandmothers Mimis, you know, or Mawmaws sometimes, you know. I don't even know what a Nan is. All I know is that the Supreme Court decision might be dropping in 14 minutes. And I don't know what kind of volatility we're going to get from it anyway. Yeah, we'll see if it holds. Again, we're at 25,600s. Again, I want to see if it bounces here. No comment. Yeah, I'm in the public library right now. You know, that's where I'm at. You see, look, there's the library right there. It's a nice library too. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll see what we get today, guys. Again, we'll see what we get. In order to stay on topic, I would love to troll you guys back. I really would. In order to stay on topic, I'm just gonna ban anybody that tries to troll me. So just troll me at your own peril, I guess. Yeah, Bitcoin, guys. Look at Bitcoin. 96 force right now for Bitcoin. 96 force. Flying right now. Do you think people are getting front loaded into potential decision by the Supreme Court today? That's the question. Again, the Supreme Court's opinion session starts 10 a.m. Eastern, which is in about 12 minutes. I told you to long it. Yeah, I mean, yields are down. Yeah, that's lower interest rate sentiment generally with yields. Depends on which yields, but yields are down today. And they're heading down into this potential decision if we look at them. The Fed odds are still pretty probable for a cut, or for a pause, I mean, this month. But again, yields are falling down a little bit in anticipation of maybe the Supreme Court decision. Again, Bitcoin's flying up. 96.5s right now for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is on a tear. Nvidia at 183s right now. 183s. Again, we are 11 minutes from the Supreme Court decision potentially here. I don't know. Last time was so anticlimactic, man. We sat around waiting for 10 o'clock, and then at 10 o'clock, let me get my sources up. I got a couple sources that I'll know immediately if it's on the docket today. And so I'll cover it very quickly, just like last time. Yeah, so again, I am on the Supreme Court website. Live chat. Will we get a decision today? Bitcoin is not stopping, man. 96.5s. Palantir and Nvidia, though, are breaking down, along with some other Mag 7 stocks. Netflix has fallen down quite a lot since the opening bell. It's at $89 a share. $89 a share. Apple is down to 259s, under 260s. Google is down to 333. So I think this is just maybe volatility getting front loaded into the tariff decision. Maybe the VIX is up to 17.5s right now for the VIX. So the VIX is up there. Tariff decision is like GTA 6. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, right now I think my mic does match my performance today. We're green. But we're not very green. It's kind of flat. Hey, thank you. Fan, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, so again, apparently the justices are meeting for their private conference on Friday, but right now that only appears as a conference day, not as a non-argument day when they would take the bench to, for example, admit lawyers to the Supreme Court bar, probably because they are doing that before arguments MTW Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week. And then next week, Monday is a federal holiday. It's Martin Luther King Day, so Tuesday would be a day when the court would be more likely to release orders than opinions. But they think that we'll get an announcement on Friday of additional cases the courts will take up this term, but the clock is ticking. So again, markets are waiting here, guys. We got 8 minutes left. 8 minutes. Again, be ready for the tariff decision. Fed's Paulson says the U.S. is likely to grow 2% this year. He sees further rate cuts later this year. Forecasts are met. Baseline economic outlook is pretty benign, he says. Not everyone is doing great in the U.S. economy right now. Is cautiously optimistic on inflation moving back to target. Monetary policy is a little restrictive right now. Inflation should be around 2% run rate by the year's end. Sees further rate cuts later this year if forecasts are met. I hope we get it this time too. Last one was really, yeah, really anticlimactic last time. Again, markets are still heading down here. Nvidia's falling. VIX is going up. Silver and gold pulling back a little bit from their highs earlier in the day, and Bitcoin rising. NASDAQ testing the lows here. Again, I'm watching 25,600s. All right, guys, let's get ready. Supreme Court ruling on the tariffs could happen. 6 minutes left. Hit the live button next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed. You'll catch up to the stream. We appreciate it. Again, if it's not in the batch today, we're not going to get it. But there's a chance it is in the batch. Also, Scheinbaum says the USMCA trade deal is working for both Mexico and the United States. Paulson says the job market is bending but not breaking right now. Expects inflation to be moderate this year, job market to stabilize. All right, here we go. 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm curious to see what kind of move. It's been an interesting week here. And next week we have jobless claims, unemployment. Or tomorrow we have jobless claims, unemployment, and more. So we got stuff coming out this week for sure. Yeah, I would just be careful leading into this. We might see choppiness over the next 5 minutes. Maybe we'll see more baked in. Market moves. Bitcoin still rising. Again, almost to 97,000 for Bitcoin. NASDAQ testing this low level again here. Just cracked it ahead of maybe a tariff decision. I'm watching 25.6. All right, guys, here we go. 4 minutes. Again, hit the live button, put it in 2x speed. You'll catch up. No announcement. The market goes back. No announcement, good or bad. I think that's kind of a neutral outcome. It's hard to tell how markets are going to respond to this. I'm going to put silver. I'm going to put the SPY, silver, and NASDAQ up here today. Here's the SPY. Here's silver on the bottom, middle. Bitcoin on the right. NASDAQ on the left. There's no way to literally watch it. All we can really do... I have a source that is a chat room where the moderators let you know basically immediately which courses at 10 a.m. are on the docket. So we'll see in about 3 minutes. Yeah, I mean, you got other people selling courses. They're kind of exaggerating how good they are. I'm kind of neutral. I'd rather tell people I suck, and then if I do better than that, great. That way I don't have to kind of fabricate things. Like I would tell you a large majority of people on YouTube do. Anyways, we got 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes. So 2 boxes today. Let's see if we get it. Again, we have 2 minutes left. Yeah, all good. Again, we have 2.5 minutes. 2 minutes left, really. Again, hit the live button next to the play button. Alphabet just broke lows. Apple's falling down too. Netflix is down still. 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. All right, here we go. Yeah, so the number of boxes is roughly the number of opinions we get today, and so far there's 2, I think. The ruling hasn't come yet. It's in a minute and a half or so. So it means maybe we're getting in the neighborhood of 3 to 4 opinions today. The 2 boxes usually means we got more than 1 and up to 4 opinions coming out. So 2 to 4 potential rulings today, which means it's a higher likelihood we get it. So about a minute left, guys. About a minute left. 25 sixes. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. We do this live for free every day. We don't sell a course. Don't even claim to be good traders. Put out info for free. Have no paywalls behind any of our content. So hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it. Great way to help support the channel. And here we go, guys. Hit the live button next to the play button. We got 40 seconds left. All right, guys. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. All right, guys. Here we go. 20 seconds. All right, guys, here we go. And here's the 5 seconds. Let's see markets. And here's 10 a.m. That's 10 a.m. right now. NASDAQ is heading down, but it's not a big move yet. Still waiting. Markets haven't really digested anything yet. It's still kind of flat from this report. Still waiting. I'm seeing early reports that they ruled it illegal, but I can't tell if this is legit or not. Hold on. Again, this is not a certainty. Okay, so the first opinion is from Justice Jackson and Barrett versus United States. Okay, so I don't think that's it. Barrett versus U.S. Is separate sentences for firearm offenses. So not it. We're still waiting on the other ones. I don't know if it's going to be enough today. It's hard to tell if some of these are legit. I think a lot of these are just fake reporters on social media. So I'm checking other sources. Right now, markets are kind of underwhelmingly reacted. Nothing yet. Richard Cook. Again, we're still waiting for the sources here. Again, Barrett versus the U.S. isn't the Supreme Court decision, though, on tariffs. I mean, we have reports, but we have cases coming out today, but it might not be the ones people want. So far, nothing yet on the tariff decision, though. Yeah, so the only ones we've gotten today so far is Barrett versus the U.S., which is not the tariff decision. There are up to 4 potentially coming out today. And so far, the only one we've got today is Barrett versus the U.S. So basically, we're still waiting. No updates on this yet. The only one we see now is Barrett versus the United States. Stick around. We're still waiting. Yeah, so the Barrett versus U.S. is a case about whether a defendant who commits a single act that violates 2 separate provisions of 18 U.S.C. 924 can be convicted under only one provision or the other instead of can be convicted under 2. It holds that Congress did not clearly authorize convictions under both. So again, that is currently not the obviously not the tariff decision. Everybody's sitting tight waiting for this. But again, there could be up to 4 opinions today. This is just one that's come out. Yeah, you'll see some volatility in markets if we do get the tariff decision, but right now it's nothing yet. We just gotta wait. The first opinion was 30 pages. We're trying to see if it ties into 2 boxes. Heading back into wait for the next one, so we'll see what we get. Again, we're waiting on the data here. Markets are very flat, waiting to see if the tariff ruling is going to be announced today. So far, we only have one Barrett versus the U.S., and that's obviously not the tariff one. Silver's still falling down ahead of this report, though. Waiting on the next one now. We'll see what we get. Waiting. Will they rule on the tariffs today, guys? Let me know. Markets are incredibly flat. Last Friday, when we thought we were going to get it, the only one they dropped was Bo versus the U.S. Today, they dropped Barrett versus the U.S., but we should get more, at least one more. So, still waiting here. Nasdaq's starting to rebound a little bit, though. But again, so far, we just have Barrett versus the U.S. on the docks. Again, here's Barrett versus the U.S. That's all we got right now. Usually, they're pretty quick. Again, this is the only one we have on the docket, Barrett versus the U.S. Again, still pretty flat. We have one opinion announced. It wasn't the tariffs, and we're waiting to hear for the next one. It's current state of things. Again, one opinion was announced. It wasn't the tariffs, and we're waiting to hear the next one. Might be more than one. So we could potentially get it today, but again, we got to wait and see. Right now, the only one they dropped is Barrett versus United States, which is not the tariffs. And so we're just sitting tight waiting. Yeah, silver down, gold down on the day for sure. Or not, maybe not on the day. I think I'll have to look at where they're at on the day. Gold is still green on the day, so is silver. But they're down since the opening bell for sure. Again, we're waiting on the next one. The only thing we have right now, guys, is the Barrett versus the US. The only one that we have on the opinion. The only opinion we have is Barrett versus US. It's not the tariff decision so far. We should get at least one more. Maybe more than that. Coming soon. But right now, that's all we got right now. We're still waiting. Yeah, I mean, you can see the market. Markets are going to react either way. This is nothing. It's just kind of like earnings. When the decision comes out, you'll see big movements up or big movements down. So far, it's nothing. Okay, so next up is the Fourth Amendment case versus Montana by Justice Kagan, which is not the tariffs. Again, it's the Fourth Amendment case versus Montana by Justice Kagan, which is not the tariffs for the second opinion. So the second one was not the tariff one either. And so again, you can kind of see these two today, Case versus Montana and Barrett versus US. Neither of these are the tariffs. So that's the second ruling we have today on opinions. The second opinion, I should say. That's the second one. Neither one of those two are the tariff ruling. So as of now, we do not have the tariff ruling yet. We could get more. We're waiting to see if there's any more opinions today. We could get more, but as of now, the two that we have so far are not the tariff rulings. We could get one more. It just depends. We might get one more. Potentially up to 4 opinions today, but... Okay, so there's at least one more coming. Potentially one more coming. So we gotta just wait. Again, we have two now. Case versus Montana and Barrett versus the US. 2 opinions. Neither one of those are the tariffs. But we should have one more, maybe. Let's see. Oh, it could be. I don't know. Yeah, the last one that just dropped wasn't the tariffs, but it held that courts... that the objective reasonableness standard for warrantless entries to render emergency aid applied without further gloss, and it was satisfied in this case, Kagan holds, because the police had a, quote, objectively reasonable basis for believing that a homeowner intended to take, yeah, indeed, may have, yeah. Court was unanimous. How do you see which decision is coming next? You don't. Terrible procedure by the Supreme Court, but you don't see which cases are in the batch. You basically just got to wait to see which ones come out. And so far, we've had 2, Case versus Montana and Barrett versus US. Neither one of them were tariffs. So we're sitting tight here waiting. Yeah, bad procedure. All right, guys, waiting. We're still waiting here. Markets haven't really moved in the last 10 minutes here. They've gone up a little bit, but they're kind of flat. Again, so far, just Barrett versus the US and Case versus Montana opinions today. When do you know it won't be happening today? So there's a maximum, I believe, of 4 opinions that could get released today. 2 to 4. We've had 2. I think we're getting 1 more at least. But I think there's a maximum of 4. But with each further opinion that comes out that's not the tariff decision, it becomes less likely, if that makes sense. So we've had 2 so far. We could get anywhere from 2 to 4 today. And right now we've had 2. So either one of them was the tariff decision. Look at the NASDAQ though. Hold on. Look at the NASDAQ. Yeah, so we have had the 3rd and final decision on the day, no tariffs announcement. The no tariff announcement today, that is it. The second day that they did not put the tariff in the batch. So we have the 3rd and final decision on the day, no tariffs. So again, the 3rd and final decision today was Bost versus the Illinois Board of Elections. Bost versus the Illinois State Board of Elections, and this is the final one today. So again, that is a second day in a row we do not get a tariff decision. So no tariff decision today again. Again, no tariff decision again. NASDAQ likes this, though, that there's no tariff decision today. It's starting to bounce back a little bit more. But again, we are not getting the tariff decision today. Yeah, so no tariff decision. Second day in a row. We did this Friday. We thought we might get one Friday. They thought we would get it today, but no tariff decision today. Again, the NASDAQ seems to like this. Silver's bouncing back. Alphabet's bouncing back. Netflix is bouncing back. So, or maybe Netflix isn't, but some markets are bouncing back. No tariff decision today. Yeah, no tariff decision. Second day. Starting to see some rebounds though here. Should I trade this, guys? Long or short right now, guys? Long or short? Let me know in chat right now. Again, check out Top Step if you want to help support the channel. No PDT in futures. Great way to learn. Most day traders lose. Check them out. There's the link pinned to the top of the chat. They're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased for sure. Long or short right now? Let me know. Long. So many longs in chat right now. There's no shorts. There's the shorts. Okay. I know who is short today. Steve right here is definitely short. I just feel it. I just feel he's short today. Market is moving up. Let's watch 25.7. Here's the 200 exponential. We got a little cushion on today. We can play with it. Long. Everybody's long right now, guys. Everybody's long. I don't know if I should short right here, too. We're still net down since the opening bell. Maybe we get up to 715s. I might short a little bit. No news is good news. I think that's how markets are digesting this right now, too. So I think that's how markets are digesting this. green today. Yeah, so again, the Supreme Court typically announces this a few days before. We will update everybody once we hear it. So I'll let you guys know. No tariff ruling today, unfortunately. Maybe I'll trade this. I'm gonna buy this actually, and this is kind of like an unusual trade for me. It's kind of counter trend, but I'm gonna go with no news is good news on the tariffs front, especially with how red the market was at the opening bell. I think that a lot of that was maybe getting baked into a reversal of the tariffs, and so now that we don't have that, maybe we'll get some good reactions. I'll take some size here, but again, we got a cushion on the day. We can play with it. Take 5 contracts here and leave it. Bull or bear right now, guys? I'm going long. Maybe up to the 200 exponential. We can fight our way back up there. Almost green. There we go. Yes, sir. All right, we're going to take a lot of that off real quick. We add a little bit to this actually now. There we go. We'll add a little bit to this now. We have 3 contracts. Take a little bit off up there. A little bit off up here. All right, so we're nicely green on the day, but I want more here, so we'll see if we can add to this. All right, there we go. We'll try to trade with the profit that we have on the day so far. I don't know if I want to add to this. Definitely a red candle. Got balled up. Take half of that off or a little bit more. Maybe add back some size at a more reasonable level. Yeah, Bitcoin almost at 97K. Markets are trying to get up there. Like I said, I'll buy back down here, see if we can fly back up. There we go, we're green. Sir, all right, we'll take that off. And then I don't know what we're gonna do. I wanna see if we bounce at 650 is what I want. But it's not an easy trade for sure. Kind of flat now. I'm gonna take some of the size off just to protect it. I think we could retrace back up. I don't want to take all of the size off, but there we go. I'd like to get to a situation where I can add more, so I think I'm just gonna wait. There we go, 5. There we go. There we go. Definitely a little whippy right now after we didn't get the tariff decision on the day. I don't know how markets want to interpret this, but I think mostly bullish so far at least. There we go. All right, so yeah, we're up a few hundred on the day at least now. Buying this dip mostly. We kind of had to add down to 650, but that's okay. Yeah. We schedule tomorrow's stream. Appreciate you guys joining me for the stream here. I know we got some trolls, but most of the chat's pretty good. I think a lot of the trolls are just fake accounts they keep making because they're just kind of like really insecure and they just dislike their own life, so they want to kind of throw me off. I live the best life ever here, but I appreciate the good guys here. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate the regulars here that consistently show up. You guys know. We cover everything live for free. We appreciate it. And tomorrow we got jobless claims unemployment data coming out. Will we get a good report here? I don't know. Jobless claims is a little bit smaller. This week has flown by, too. Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate it. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, I live a very blessed life. I'm very very content. NASDAQ trying to fight its way back up though. The question is, does silver break highs today? Silver is at 91.62 right now. 91.62. Hey, thank you guys. Yeah, much love. Again, check out Top Step. You want to help support the channel. No PDT rule in futures. Great way to learn. Let me schedule tomorrow's stream. NASDAQ coming back down. Look, silver guys, don't get mad at me. I'm going to take a little profit in silver. I think I kind of need to. It's risk management. All right, it's risk management. I'm up so much in 2 weeks on silver. I'm still in it, but I'm going to take a little sliver of profit, guys. Don't judge me too much here. I got to lock in profit. Again, we got jobless claims unemployment today. Or tomorrow. We'll see what that looks like. NASDAQ's still very flat and kind of boring right now, guys. But yeah, I'm kind of bummed. I wish they would just put the decision out already. Again, honestly, they need to change the procedure. Then we're going to rotate. Yeah, look, I'm staying in it. I'm just going to take some profit. Hey, thank you, Che. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you, man. Hey, what's up, Oliver? I don't go on cruise ships, bro. I got a rule. I don't go on cruise ships, dude. I saw a documentary about the poop cruise. You're not going to find me on a cruise ship, bro. You're just not. I'm not judging you. I get some retirees like live their life on cruise ships, and I'm not even mad at that. I kind of understand that. Maybe when I'm older. But I'm not getting on a cruise right now. Yeah, generally, like, I'm a little frustrated the Supreme Court doesn't just release the freaking decision already. But I think they should also let us know which cases are in each batch every day for opinions, and they don't do that either, which is dumb. You know, like if you're gonna have a major ruling that's gonna affect markets in a significant way, let people know. Like which ones are on the opinion day. Don't make. I mean, I don't mind streaming it because we get good numbers regardless, even if they don't announce it. But it'd be better if they let us know, like, this is for sure happening today. Markets can digest it. Analysts and media can watch for it. Like, it's important. But hey, Supreme Court's going to be the Supreme Court. It's not that they delayed it, they just didn't announce it today. Bonds are up, so yields are down. Yeah, yields are down today. All right, guys, I'm going to cut out of here. Tomorrow, jobless claims, unemployment goes live. Be ready. 8:30 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow for jobless claims. They're expected tomorrow. Jobless claims tomorrow expected at 215. Last time they showed up at 208. Revised the last one up to 200,000. So we'll see what jobless claim shows up tomorrow. We also have, just in terms of stuff, import prices, a delayed report for tomorrow, and more stuff going on. And then next week we got GDP, PPI inflation, and more. So just got a lot of stuff going on in the next few weeks. Be ready. And then the week after that, I'm pretty sure we got earnings in the Fed meeting. So just be ready, guys. Market is just, I would stick around longer, to be honest. Since we have the numbers, we got over 1,000 still here, but not doing anything, guys. And I don't want to trade this. We're nicely green on the day. I'm just going to lock it in and hang out. But I appreciate the love. Thanks so much, guys. Remember, I'm not an investment professional. I don't sell a course. I don't sell a service. I don't even claim to be a good trader. Do not copy me. We recently bought a ping pong table for my son. It's way bigger than I expected. I am the current ping pong champion of the house. I just want to tell everybody that. It's really important before we leave. And so I'm going to go practice right now. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. NASDAQ's breaking down on the day. I love you all. I appreciate the support. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, y'all be good. Have a great day.